thank you guys so much for taking the time to join us today, this beautiful Thursday, 4th of July weekend. So won't keep you too long, but definitely today is a great topic to discuss. And just a reminder of how important it is to have a solid CRM. So if you haven't been on one of these trainings before, welcome. My name is Justin Taylor. I am the Business Development and Training Executive for Rock Title. We are currently in Arizona and Nevada, expanding to Indiana very soon, and more across the nation. So we're super excited about that. If you haven't tried Rock Title before or worked with our escrow team or sales team, please reach out, give us a try, write us in on your next contract. You will be pleasantly surprised. We have several branches across both states and really a rock star escrow team that has an enormous amount of experience and a sales team that can really partner with you and strategize on really helping grow your business. It's more important now than ever, especially in changing markets, to have that conversation, especially midway through the year, right? We were just talking about this. We're halfway through the year. We really got to ramp up, especially in a changing market, which is kind of great timing because really your CRM should be absolutely priority. And I would empower you to make it a priority to kind of set time aside to go over your database. Maybe you don't have a database yet, but this month for sure, that way you have a solid way into communicating with your past clients and any other leads that you may be generating coming in. So before we do that, I want to talk about Rock University real quick. I have updated, it has been updated on the learning assets that are in there. So the newsletter, right, it kind of goes in with what we're talking about today. So the newsletter and social media posts have all been updated. So if you go to rockuniversity.com, you can click VIP All Access. Once you get in there, it is free to sign up. If you have not signed up yet, you just go to rockuniversity.com, click VIP All Access. It'll give you a little form to fill out, and then you will have access to all this. So now it says June and July. June will go away probably next week sometime after the 1st, and then it will just be July. But if you click into these newsletters, you'll see here that we have July uploaded in there. Again, these are all Canva templates that you can move over into your free Canva account. I will never make these or design them in a way where you have to have the pro version. It will always be the free version, okay? So these are already done for you for both Arizona and Nevada. You can go in and edit these, of course, put your reviews in here, add your QR code. If you don't know how to do the QR code, there's trainings on Rock You how to do that, or reach out to your sales executive. They can step you through that as well. Okay, so that newsletter is in there for you to be able to send out. Social media posts are also updated, so you'll be able to add those into your free Canva account as well. And then your July mailers have been added in there as well. You could still use the June ones. They're not really super specific to the month, really summer related. So you can still use those that are in there. Okay, so you can always go there and access those. Now, with that said, I am planning in-person workshops that it'll be in person, and we will meet once a month to go through together a newsletter that you will have ready to go by the time we leave that workshop, an hour and a half, something like that, and be ready to either email to your database or mail to your past clients, things like that, right? These are things that we know are important. It's critical to our business, is what we're going to dive in and see. But time blocking and actually doing it is our challenge, right? So if we have these workshops where we come together, 95% of the template's done, we finish the rest together, and then it's ready to go and send out to your clients by the time that you leave. So is that something that you guys as agents would think would be beneficial? Would you attend? I'm gonna put a poll in here real quick. Let me launch this and see if this works. Did you guys see that on your end? Look at me, technology.
Yes.
Look at that. Okay. No one's saying no. So perfect. Okay. So the plan is I'll do it, of course, in both states. I'll make sure that we do that monthly. I'll try to make the location convenient. Maybe we do it twice, 2 different locations. I know some, like here in Arizona, it's really spread out, kind of the same in Nevada. So I'll try to make it as convenient as possible. But I think it is a highly beneficial opportunity for us all to come together and for you to be able to check that off your list, something super important and critical to your business. So I'll make sure to get that out there. We'll start that in July, and I'll make sure everyone gets those details. Let me see what else is on my list real quick before we dive in. So we talked about assets. Perfect. So one more poll real quick, and then I'll leave you guys alone with the polls. Let me go back here. Okay, so who currently uses a CRM on a consistent basis? Who has a CRM? Okay. So a lot of people do, and you communicate to it on a consistent basis. And what we're going to do today is maybe hopefully give you some gold nuggets on organization or just communication, timeline, best ways to do it. It's almost about 50-50. It is absolutely critical. And we're going to talk about some different systems and what works and what doesn't. So I'm going to go ahead and go back here. Cool. And as usual, if you guys have comments, questions, concerns, unmute yourself, throw it in the chat box. Let's not wait to the very end. I like to answer things as we go so it's fresh on everyone's mind. And if you're thinking the question, most likely somebody else's as well. Okay, so we talked about rockuniversity.com. So why a CRM is your biggest asset? So in my opinion, and a lot of opinions of, let's see, Maria said, I was old-fashioned, but that's the reason why I'm here. I'm interested in using it. Perfect. Absolutely. And you know what? CRMs are old-fashioned, right? We complicate it so much, but it's something that works. It absolutely works. And we're going to look at some of the data to back that up. So in my opinion, a lot of industry leaders and professionals would agree that your CRM is your business's biggest asset, right? Communicating to those who already know and trust you is absolutely critical for the longevity of your business. So a solid CRM is always important, but even more so in changing markets. Don't discount how important this is to the longevity of your business. So investing in a CRM system for your real estate business, if used correctly, will pay for itself many times over. It will save you time, energy, prevent missed opportunities and deadlines, and ensure consistent outreach to your clients and contacts to produce a steady flow of new business, right? You probably have heard of like Brian Buffini and certain industry coaches tell you this, of how important it is to have that steady flow of new business coming through, and it all comes down to your business or your CRM and that communication. So if you want to grow and scale your business, you must prioritize an infrastructure that organizes leads and contacts while also strengthening relationships. Okay. This infrastructure does not need to be complicated. Absolutely does not. So to Maria's point, it's old-fashioned. It's data in a system or an Excel spreadsheet that you are able to keep track of, whatever works for you, right? We're always sold the shiny object. This CRM, that CRM, this one has, this feature. They all offer really the solid foundation that you need. However, some offer a few extra perks. Maybe LionDesk has video integrated into their system. So you can easily from the phone or from the computer be able to record a video quickly and send it to a contact or a group of contacts. Okay, so there are a few different features. However, I have agents that think LionDesk is complicated in the sense that it's not easy to navigate. So if you're not going to be happy using it, or you're going to get frustrated and it takes hours to actually use these systems, don't use them. Use an Excel spreadsheet or use something that's so basic that it's just super, super easy for you. My point is whichever system you do choose to go with, make sure it's something that you are comfortable with and that you will use. Okay, so here's some stats to back this up. 82%, which I think is actually more than this, but 82% of all real estate transactions come from repeat and referral business. 82% of all real estate transactions come from repeat and referral business. So when I meet with agents, and this question, right? Because we're always fed so much information. They always want to generate leads, right? We want to spend money on internet leads, Facebook leads, Google pay-per-click, all that good stuff. When 82% of all real estate transactions come from repeat and referral business, right? So where should we be investing our money? Communicating with those who already know and trust us. 88% of buyers and 84% of sellers would use their agent again or refer them to others. That's a huge piece to this puzzle. Refer them to others, right? We know that everyone doesn't buy and sell a house every single year, right? Numerous years go by. We wouldn't be able to survive on that. However, keeping in contact with those past clients that had a great experience with you, and you continue to build that relationship after the close of escrow, and you provide them great content that's not just real estate related, but here's what's happening in the Valley. Here's a new restaurant. Here's a new business that just moved here, right? On all different types of platforms, whether it's physical mail, social media, video, you're keeping in touch with them. You're staying top of mind. And the point is so that they refer you to their friends and family, right? You slowly create this army of marketers indirectly that are then going to refer you business. It's a spider web. You're building that network out. 92% of consumers trust recommendations from friends and family above all other forms of advertising. Okay, very similar to reviews that we talked about last week. The typical agent earns 42% of their business from repeat clients and referrals. Almost half comes from that source. However, real estate agents lose 20% of their clients annually due to attrition. The number one reason cited for this loss was a failure to stay in touch with their clients. Right? And I know a lot of the question is, well, what do I communicate to them? And we're going to talk about that today too. And that's the whole point of putting those workshops together. We're just going to take that right off the table. Here's great content that we're going to be able just to send out to them. So optimizing your CRM for longevity, here's the 4 pillars we're going to discuss today. Building your database. What does that look like? Organizing your contacts. We'll give some ideas there, especially for a lot of you that already are using a CRM or pay for a CRM. Managing your relationships. What does that look like? And then, of course, staying in touch with your people. So building and growing your database. One of the first questions that I've always been asked since being in this industry is, who belongs my database? Who do I put in there? And really the short answer is everyone you know, right? A lot of people say, don't put realtors in there. Don't do that. But I would encourage it for a few reasons, right? Maybe they know investors. Maybe they're tagged properly so that you're target marketing them with an opportunity that maybe they know an investor because you have a property that's distressed or something like that. Okay, there's always opportunities for us to work together and leverage who we know to help a deal succeed. So past clients, of course, priority, absolutely priority. If your past clients are not in a CRM, Excel spreadsheet, anything like that, ready to go, absolutely has to be priority. Your current clients that you're working with, okay, buyers, sellers, personal friends and acquaintances, right, your sphere. Business owners. This is a huge one. This is a huge lead source that we're going to talk about in a few slides, but connecting with local business owners. Local business owners. And the reason is maybe you guys collaborate on local events or local promotions. Hey, I'm sending out this flyer. Do you want to do a 15% off coffee or 20% off coffee or something for that I'm sending to my past clients or my sphere, right? You're building that relationship with a business owner who has what? A large network of people as well. That's why a lot of agents join these Rotary clubs and different things like that, because you're extending your network. But most business owners know quite a few people in their network. So naturally, you're staying in communication with them, and they are going to naturally refer you clients, connect you with more people. So people in your professional network, like agents, right? Local agents, feeder market contacts. I posted this a few weeks ago. Feeder markets are markets where you have consumers moving here. So like Arizona, right? California is moving here, Washington, Colorado, even Illinois. So maybe you're connecting with agents there who their clients are selling. And because you're staying in contact with them, maybe by video or an email, and you're keeping them updated on the market here, or even the market there. We have tools like Altos Market Reports at Rock Title that allows you to look at data nationwide. Great for feeder markets. Leads, of course, internet leads, open house leads, social media leads, things like that. You can always add in there. And then, of course, your farm as well, right? So these are just some of the contacts or different categories, per se, of who you would put into your database. Really, everyone you know. We're going to talk about categorizing and tags and why that's important, because you don't just want to have a database that's full of a bunch of contacts and there's no way that you can target market specific, right? Because your past clients are going to get something different than maybe feeder markets or realtors or your farm. Yes, Sean. So when you click, so Sean asked if you have access to Altos tools to look at other markets. The answer is yes. So when you get your weekly report, click on the link, it'll open up, and then at the top, you can search anywhere. Just click search, that market, it'll show you the city first, and I think it breaks down the zip code, and then you'll be able to see that data in other markets. And I can show you guys that at the end too. So building and growing your database, continuing, always be thinking about adding to and growing your database. So really today, I want you guys to make a goal, right? To add X amount, whatever that is, of new contacts to your database each day, week, or month. What's manageable for you initially? Is it 5 a week? 10 a month, 15 a month? It starts with the goal though. You have to have a goal, then you have to take action. Maybe it's 3 new contacts a day. You miss a day, now it's 6. 10 a week. It was a busy week. You missed it, so now we have 20 this week, right? Holding yourself accountable. That's something else that we're going to work into the workshop as well, because not only communicating to your database is important, but we need it to grow, right? We know it's a numbers game. Awesome. Sean, I'll show you guys that at the end there. So Tom, time block to work on and in your database daily, just like prospecting, right? Your database is a growth factor. You have to work on it. Every day, we have to set time aside to prospect. We also have to set time aside to be able to work on and in our database, adding those new contacts, organizing it, making sure information is updated. Did a client move? Right? When's the last time we reached out to them? Were the notes updated? Did we notate that the mailer was sent out so that we know when that mailer was sent or what they received? Things like that. So anyone you talk with or connect with, make sure to add them into your database. Send a follow-up note via maybe text, email, physical mail if possible, so that you can build that relationship. And then what we just talked about, introduce yourself to local businesses and connect with the owners. Add them to your database. Work with them on promotions or collaborate. You will become their go-to real estate referral. If it's a coffee shop, and if you are a regular coffee drinker, make it a point that that's the coffee shop you go to, right? You're loyal to them. They will be loyal to you. Okay, so this slide's a little much, but I'll work through it with you guys. All right. So these are just examples of what I've used in the past for sales teams, things like that, for us to really be able to extract as much as we can out of our CRM. So organizing your CRM with categories and tags. These are just a few examples. You can really create a tag for anything that you wanted to, or even a category. So say category would be new, right? They're brand new, haven't talked to, speed to lead. Super important, speed to lead. Even if it's a referral. How many times do we get in the mindset, oh, so-and-so sent me a referral, I got it in the bag, right? We don't have to work that hard, but speed to lead is still super important for that referral. It's all about that experience. Qualified could be a category, right? You haven't made contact with them yet, maybe you've been reaching out, so you're gonna have regular communication with them. Hot, right? Or maybe your category is A, B, and C. This could hot, nurture, watch could be A, B, C as well. You've heard that one. So hot, 0 to 3 months out, maybe. Nurture, 4 to 6 months. Watch is maybe 7, 12 plus months out, okay? And the reason that you categorize is because maybe your communication is different, right? Hot, you're probably in communication with them very often, okay? They're ready to go. They're qualified. They've already met the lender or their cash, anything like that. Nurture, maybe there's something that still has to happen before they can make that move. Do they have to sell a house first, right? Is there something going on that a step has to happen before they can get into that hot stage? Moving, things like that. Maybe they're out of state. Watch, they're kind of thinking about it. It's a good possibility, but you're going to communicate with them still fairly frequently, but probably not on a daily or weekly basis per se, right? As opposed to like a hot. Like one category may be pending, so they're under contract. This is all goes back to the organization of your database, right? It just helps you. Closed, of course, you had a successful close of escrow. Maybe there's a category for archive, and these could be leads that maybe you got from an open house, internet, or just fear that just kind of hasn't been communicating back to you, but you haven't been able to reach but good contact info, right? Just because we haven't been able to talk to someone, but we know it's good contact info, doesn't mean we should trash it. Okay? They should still be on some type of drip or get some type of communication from you. You will be surprised when I was a sales manager, when we had thousands and thousands of contacts in there, how much gold was in our archive. But we kept communicating with them, right? Monthly basis, quarterly basis. Eventually, when they're ready to pull the trigger, since we were the only ones still communicating with them, they reached out to us. So don't get discouraged if you have contacts or leads that just aren't responding. They're getting it. They're getting it. And then, of course, trash would be just bad contact info, okay? Bad phone number, bad email. It's obviously not going to go anywhere. Some examples of tags. Of course, past client, right? Tags are super important for target marketing. So past client, your communication to them is going to be different. Open house, farm, right? Your sphere of influence. Maybe you have contacts in there that you got from Facebook ads. So they're a Facebook lead. Again, target marketing. Maybe you're retargeting. Hey, I know you saw my listing or my post on Facebook. Maybe it came from a target ad that you were targeting in California. Are you tired of paying California taxes, property taxes, right? Are you ready to sell and come to beautiful Arizona or Nevada? Okay. Same with Google pay-per-click, right? You want those to be tagged so you can easily pull that data. Maybe it's a price point that you have people looking at. So a new listing comes on the market and you shoot them a specific property within a price point. They're looking between 5 to 750, and you have a new listing or something, and you want to blast that out to them specifically. Hey, I know this was in your price range. It's a 2-story. I know you're looking for single, but I definitely want to make sure that you saw this. Geographic location would be a good one too. So tags can help you quickly pull data and contacts so that you can target market. Any questions on categories or tags? Or suggestions that maybe you guys, we can all learn from each other, that maybe some of you that are currently using your CRM have seen work for you that could maybe help another agent? Cool. So managing your relationships. So the celebration doesn't stop just because a deal closed, right? Part of building that relationship extends beyond the closing. You should be strengthening that relationship and staying ever so slightly on their mind year-round. Just reading some of the comments here in the chat box. Yes, Brianna, thank you. Deborah asked, typically can you use multiple tags for each contact? Absolutely, for sure. A past client may also have been from an open house. The other thing with organizing this in terms of categories and tags is you get to see where your best ROI is. Maybe you kill it at open houses and you don't even know it, right? It gives you a little bit more insight on where you should spend more of your time, especially with the market shifting, homes are on the market longer. The opportunity for open houses are back. Building that database. So just like a vegetable garden, you need to constantly maintain your database for optimum output. If you neglect it for a few weeks, the weeds will start to take over and it will seem overwhelming to clean up. I'm gonna pause there for a second. So I've worked with agents on all spectrums, right? Brand new agents that have been in the business for a very long time. Every time I meet with a new agent, I plead. I wish I could make them sign something. Start a solid database now. Because I have worked with agents that have been in the business for decades. They have hundreds of sales. And the amount of opportunities when we go through and we pulled their past clients, they've literally cried. We pulled their past clients and we start to go through and see when they sold. And they didn't call or relist with that agent. And why? 99% of the time is because you didn't keep in touch. A lot of money on the table lost in those instances. And just like a garden, if you neglect your contacts, your real estate business will suffer and eventually start to die, which is where we see them listing with other agents because the opportunity rose. Another agent maybe didn't keep in communication with them for a long time, but they thought about selling, and then all of a sudden they get a postcard or a mail or a knock on the door or something, and it just, the opportunity was there. As opposed to if you stayed in constant communication, providing valuable content, all that stuff, they would have definitely reached out to you. If everything in the original transaction went smooth, of course. So staying in touch with your people, these are just a couple of suggestions. So new active leads or contacts, maybe it's weekly communication. These are active or new, right? That you're trying to qualify and things like that. The most important really for today is past clients and sphere. So you should communicate monthly or quarterly, whatever you're comfortable with. And we're gonna talk about this in a second, a lot of agents get scared of over communicating, which is a thing. If we're not being genuine and we're not providing great, valuable content, it could be a thing. But past clients, direct mail, email, pop buys, of course, you've heard of those, text, video, etc. Right? Whichever medium that you want to communicate with them. The point is a consistent flow of communication to your past clients and sphere. And it's really less about the content and more about the consistency and overall experience through context, right? We spend a lot of time trying to think of the content, or the content itself just holds us back from actually taking action. And in this business, it's all about the consistency. If you communicate consistently, your business will be way more consistent than if you don't, right? You're going to avoid those highs and lows. So once you have your contacts organized and on a list, highly recommend that you also search for them on social media platforms, okay? So get them all together on that list and then set that time aside to then go on Facebook or Instagram and start looking for people, start following, let them follow you back. This is another way to indirectly stay in front of your severe and past clients. Social media is powerful in the sense that it often gives you birthday information and allows you to connect as a human. So not only do they get a quarterly mailer for you or monthly or whichever frequency it is, but now they're seeing you on Facebook or social media. You're out with the family, you're trying a new restaurant, you're on vacation, right? In addition to you're talking about real estate, makes it more human. The whole point of social media really for this industry is for you to be able to stay top of mind. It's another avenue. And of course, make it personal for them, the client. So sending a nice bottle of wine or champagne to celebrate milestones and wins are great, but what if they don't drink, right? So it's important to keep the whole experience about them, not you. During the entire process, you should be getting to know your clients and building a relationship so that you can tailor gifts and other experiences around their own interests and preferences. Again, this is critical for a database or CRM. Even if it's on an Excel spreadsheet, have a notes column or have, a gift column, right? So over this time period of working with them, you're going to understand what they are interested in. Keep note of that. Little details matter. I've worked with clients and, she had mentioned her kid's birthday. I've had one, like a dog went to the vet. I said, no worries, I'll call you next week. My conversation calling back was, how's the dog? Right? We have so many conversations, making those notes. So then when it comes up on your calendar to reach back out, or you go into CRM and you see those notes, you're readily prepared for that conversation. So Melissa, I'm not sure if you guys see that, maybe add a category for an angel or that person that may not buy or sell again themselves. They're in their forever home, right? But there are those that talk to everyone and know everyone. They become your promoter. Don't leave them off. Absolutely. So in the beginning, we talked about, right, you're creating this army per se, right? These army of marketing relationships where they're out promoting you because you provided them such an amazing experience. You stay in contact with them. And in return, they are out there promoting, sending you business. Absolutely. Those are the best. Those you should nurture, give the most love to. I was just talking to an agent the other day. She had one client that so far this year has referred her 6 people. Now they own, I think it's dentistries or something like that. So they're very well connected. Again, business owners are great. Local business owners are a great source for that. But referred to, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of commission, right? We take care of those for sure. Cami had mentioned use an all about you form, right? Maybe that's part of your process with your clients. Hey, something I like to do is just get to know my clients. I want to know a little bit more about you. What do you love to do? Do you like to travel? Do you drink? What do you enjoy? Go to wineries? Do you movies? What's your thing? I love that, Cami. You can even send them a curated list, right, of gift options for the right occasion, but don't forget the personalized message. Gifts are great, but stories are forever. In this industry, it's so important for that experience. I can't say that word enough. It's really about providing that insane experience that they're just never going to forget. Anything else on that? Great feedback, guys. Okay, so before we jump into, well, I guess we'll do this one and then I'll show you guys Excel. So some things to think about. So before investing money into generating online leads like Facebook, Google pay-per-click, or advertising in print, I want you to ask yourself, have I invested in my network of those who already know and trust me? Do I communicate to my past clients on a consistent basis? When's the last time, and you can think about it now, when's the last time that you mailed something to your past clients? Was it this month, this week, this year? Have you ever sent something to your past clients? Again, an experienced agent, she phenomenal, but she's chasing. Okay. And those that have been in the industry know what that is. Right? You're just constantly chasing. You have it's all about outbound, nothing's coming in. Right? That's exhausting. But the story is we pulled her past client. She's never sent a thing. Sells $30 million a year in real estate, has never sent one thing to her clients. I'm not talking gift. I mean, like, hey, 8.5 by 11, well, tri-folded in an envelope. Never happened. So her business will change because you want to retire at some point, but get those referrals. But the point is you really have to start now so that it continues to build. So I just ask you, have you communicated to your past clients, right? So that's a question you can kind of talk to yourself about. Your CRM doesn't need to be fancy, just functional and effective. Use a platform that you will use. We talked about this in the beginning. Even Excel. People laugh at me when I say Excel. Look, I made this. I used an Excel spreadsheet myself for the longest time because I could just see, it's easy to see the data. Okay. So here's the most important columns, in my opinion. First name, last name, email, phone, address. I highly recommend separating address like this. Most CRMs or any platform to use to upload for postcards, mailers, or anything like that is super specific that if you have the address all in one column, it's really not going to work, right? To be able to manipulate this data around, it really should be separated. So you have those there. I added one for category, one for past client. We have home anniversary, birthday, and then notes. Or maybe it's the get to know you better column, something like that. You can have a color scheme if you wanted to, anything like that, right? It could be as basic as this. There's some agents I've met with and they said, oh, my database is just my phone. It's not effective, right? You can't move that around. You can't mass target certain things like that, okay? Now, this is just an Excel template. So I will send this in the follow-up email. That way you guys have this too. Again, you don't have to use it. You can use it if you just want to start somewhere. If you want to start here. My number I always give agents is start with 50. Okay, just work on getting 50 people in some type of CRM or database and then go from there. And I have agents that tell me, I don't know 50 people. And I say, yes, you do. You know a lot more than 50 people. As soon as you start going through your phone, social media, all that stuff, you'll be surprised at how much info. Now, you may not know their address, but you know their first name, last name, maybe their email, phone number, right? You can always build into the database. But this is just an example template to show you guys. And this last one here, out-communicate the competition to win more. We have a fear of annoying people, but when done correctly and with genuine, valuable content, our message is well received. Out-communicate the competition, especially in a changing market. There is a lot to talk about. Consumers are very interested in what's happening. Okay. out communicate the competition. Now, from experience, I can almost guarantee you it's a very small percentage that agents actually communicate to their database or to their people. So it will be, you will already stand out in a big way by consistently providing valuable content. Some other things to think about: don't just stick people on an email campaign and forget about them, right? I see that a lot. Email drip campaigns are amazing. Make them customized, make them more personable, change certain things so it looks more personalized. I've done drip campaigns where in the email, I've added sent from my iPhone at the bottom, right? Little marketing trick so that it's not, it looks like you actually sent it from your phone. I really did that for lead gen, but it's just a way to, you don't want just your typical drip campaign going out, right? It's kind of cool. You got to make it more personal. Video. I know I've been talking about that for a long time now. So instead, meet them where they are, whether that be via the phone, email, video chat, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Meet them where they are at. Do they communicate better on a social media platform via text? Do they respond to videos more than just a plain text email? Change it up periodically so your message or post don't get caught in the noise and ignored. We're all thrown a lot of information on a lot of different platforms, but typically we all have one or two mediums that we gravitate towards, which is why in business it's important that you explore them all, and whichever one that you see the best ROI, go all in on that one. So if you don't know where to start, this is where I encourage you to pull all your past sales from your local MLS, right? So in Arizona, we just go into Flex MLS and we pull that information. You can pull your past clients or your past sales. That's a start, right? You get all those addresses. Monsoon, do they still live there? That's the heartbreaking part. So if you've been selling for quite some time, you start going into monsoon and look at past clients and they no longer live there, they sold. Starts to get depressing. So that's where I would encourage you guys to start with first past clients. Pull those past clients together, get something out to them within the next 30 days. This month, July is the month. We're halfway through the year. The market is changing. Okay. Let's see. So make your past clients priority this month. That's the takeaway there. Questions? Feedback? Anyone have experience where they've found success?
Hey, Justin. Hi. Sorry about that. I would say, oh, I've got my wrong camera on. I would say that I've used several of those. So I have used the Excel spreadsheet. I've used the Wise Agent, and now I'm trying to move over to the one in the ROG system. So I think the challenge though is exactly what you talked about, is how do you go back in, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, how do you go back in and make those little tweaks to modify what you're going to do? The one thing I will say that I've been good at for the last 2 years is I did get on one of those postcard campaigns. So I do have a different, and I think this is the challenge, right? A different database that it goes out to through a service. And I just specifically chose, I don't know, 100 names for that group. And for my new agents that work with me, I asked them to give me 20 names initially that are going to get that monthly card, rather than just blasting it out to 200 people that they don't really know. They can do other things email wise, etc. But who are the primary people that they want to make sure they're keeping in touch with?
Yeah, no, I love that. And the first part of your question is, can you clarify that? What?
So when you talk about going in and working on your database, what are you recommending that agents work on? Because it's one thing to modify stuff, but are you changing up what you're going to send out that week or that month? Are you trying to focus on, say, 1 month, making sure you're talking to your past buyers, or your just general database? How are you choosing which action to take? I think that's what gets agents to stop, right? We look at our lists. I mean, I've been doing this 25 years. I could probably have a very long list, and I've narrowed it down over the years because it was tiring to go out to all those people. And you're right, I should still keep in touch with all of them. But sometimes it's just like, really, do I really want to do this?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's hard. It's another, right? We talk like we say we wear so many hats, and marketing is a piece of that. And then this is like a sub piece of that. And it's so difficult to keep up, but it comes down to that time blocking, which is why I really want to do workshops on a monthly basis that we can just like set time aside to that. But I would recommend that you take the time to, when I say work on, is you're setting time aside to communicate to everyone in your database. So I wouldn't do like this month, I'm going to talk to my past clients. Next month, I'm going to talk to open house leads, or anything like that. I personally would strategize and set time aside, or maybe it's a couple separate days, right? So we don't leave with a headache and we're completely over it because it's a lot. But I would set the time aside to communicate with them monthly, or at least go in the system and see what's happening in terms of, when's the last time I sent something to my open house leads, or the last time that my sphere of influence received something from me. What did they receive last month? Was it a mailer, or did I just send a video update to them? Right? It doesn't always just have to be the same thing. It could be something different as well. Right? Brianna made a point here: 3 days a week, 1.5 hours. It's just, I really line this up with prospecting. I really do. Because it has to be, this isn't like a once a month necessarily thing. This is why I even say daily, but yeah, 3 days a week, 1.5 hours of time put aside to go in. Now, you're probably in there that frequent because you're going in to add new contacts, right? So in the beginning, we talked about those goals. How many new contacts do you want to add into your database weekly, daily, monthly? What does that look like? Do you miss a week because it was busy? So like I was saying, like I'm going to go with a very conservative number, 5 new contacts a week. So you missed a week, and now you set the time aside on week 2. Now you have to hold yourself accountable to 10, right? Because you missed a week. We try to do that as much as possible. So, it's almost like, and I'm going to work on putting maybe like a checklist or some type of program together that you guys can have a base from. And then you can always modify it in the sense of what works in your business. Question?
Yeah, I was just going to say, so, I mean, I've always worked in my database. Like you said, we're going in and adding things, whether we realize it or not, right? So even if we don't have that CRM, I'm in my ARM list where I have all my leads, right? Because if somebody calls me and I set up a search for them, they're there. They're in my ARM list. That's the basic drip campaign. We have them because we have buyers on drip campaigns,
Yep.
whether we recognize it or not, right? So they're getting all the new listings that are coming up. What we fail to do is take them out of there and move them into something else once they've purchased a home, right? Or include those in whatever else we're doing, like our mailings and our emails and other stuff. So the challenge is, how do we maybe integrate those systems and or add actions to make sure we go back into Armless and grab that data, right? Like you're talking about, where are those numbers? One of the places it could be is just go through Armless.
Yeah.
I literally have 500 names in my Armless system that I could probably be pulling emails and names out of.
For sure. And that goes back to, right, because somebody just asked a question like, what CRM do I use? And it's really the one that you're going to use. I know that's not a great answer. I know it's nobody likes that answer, but it truly is. You have to figure out what's important for you, and going to be most convenient for you. Again, you don't want to use something that's frustrating or that you hate. If you get that feeling right away, dump it and go basic. I'm being serious. That's why I talk about Excel spreadsheets. Start there. But Melissa, to your point, is you have to have one centralized system or platform that is going to be your communication database. So we have databases everywhere. Our phone, social media, Facebook's a database, LinkedIn's a database, Armless, your MLS system's a database. Maybe they're on property searches on something else. That's another database. Who still has a Rolodex? I'm kidding. No, yeah, no, but there's all these different databases, but you have to have one that you can easily communicate to. So if you're pulling data on a monthly, right, in that time blocking, you're pulling data from these systems together in a way that you can then easily communicate with them. So even like this spreadsheet here at the bottom, I forgot to talk about this. This tab is past clients. This one's open house. Maybe one is Armless or your MLS system. One's social media, right? You can kind of get them all into one area on that monthly basis, quarterly basis. If monthly is too much for you right away, the goal is to be consistent and for you to actually be able to take action on this, right? If it's too big of a hill, we're going to take a look at it and we're going to be like, absolutely not. Not going to do it, right? I can see all the faces on screen. We're already thinking that. As soon as I said CRM at the very, very beginning of this class, everyone's like, why did I sign up for this? I do not want to be here. It's absolutely, it's a big task. But again, that's why I think my goal to be able to help you guys is to put together those monthly workshops so we come together and we can make it maybe a little bit more easier and less daunting so that you leave something sent out to your database clients. Okay. Just gonna check the chat box here. Kendra, checklist would be awesome. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Brianna. So Bree said your Rock Title Sales Executive can help you plan to integrate your databases. Absolutely true. Reach out to, leverage us. Reach out to your Rock Title Sales Executive, schedule a strategy session, and just talk through the details, right? It always helps to get it out of our head and kind of come up with a plan. There's a lot of experience on our sales team that'll help you strategize and kind of take that big pie and break it down a little bit easier in that sense. Any other questions? I mean, I know there's a lot of questions, but any other feedback? Any other successes or stories? Do we all agree that some type of database or CRM is important to our business, right? We do want to live off referrals at some point. We want to be able to, I will tell you this. I believe in database and CRM so much that I know for a fact there are agents, successful agents who have really made it the foundation of their business and they've turned around and sold their database. Happens a lot.
Well, that's your business. I mean, you can sell a business if you have a book of business, it's sellable.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a process in doing that, right? After so many years, these people trust, they love you. You're slowly phased out. The marketing starts to have somebody else on it with you. Slowly, every other one has you on it, and then you're just out, and then you're on a beach living the good life.
I have a story.
Yeah.
So Bree, sales executive, Rock Title. I had an agent do a generic birthday video and put it on an automatic drip campaign. So every one of her clients got this video on their birthday. And she had a client call 6 years later and said, the reason why I'm using you is because you care about me every single year. You send me a birthday video. And she had honestly forgot she set it up at 6 years down the road, but that touch is important to people. So Could you do it manually every single year? Absolutely. But setting it and forgetting it, that's going to be able to leverage your time as an agent.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And that video, the video portion is so, I know you guys are sick of me talking about video, but I'm telling you, it is so, it changes your business and it just makes it more personal, right? So in Bree's example, it's not, you're not saying the client's name, but it gives the impression and the experience and feeling that you took the time to record a video to send it to them, right? They don't know the back end of how everything works and things like that. If we were to receive that, we would feel great too, right? Somebody remembered. The fact that somebody took the time to include me on that drip campaign, right? It's awesome.
I have a quick question or a point, I guess.
Yeah.
I think the thing that I have the most difficult time with is coming up with the content. So I think that, you know, and there's a couple of different reasons, right? One of them is that the technological part of it is sitting down and creating, you know, whether it's 10 or 20 emails that are going to go out over a period of time and drafting all of that and creating that content and, you know, making it, you know, something that's worthwhile for your clients. And then also the technology, you know, going into the CRM and understanding how to do that.
Yeah.
That's kind of difficult part of, and then that's where the overwhelm comes in. It's like, I don't even know,
Yeah.
you know, it's one thing to be able to sit down and say, okay, I'm going to call this list of people, or I'm going to, you know, send out some listings to this list of people or whatever, like those type of things are kind of simple. But if you're wanting to put them on something that's just like a little bit more of a general non-real estate related type of a thing, it's like, what am I doing? And then I have Wise Agent, and I personally, I like Wise Agent, but like the look of what comes out from like in an email, I don't like the way it looks.
Mhm.
And I don't know how to improve that, I guess.
You can move it to a platform that's maybe, you know, people don't think MailChimp or Constant Contact's a database or a communication type database that you can use, and you can make it more visually pleasing, which is actually what I've used personally. And I'll go in and do, you know, like Bree said, market update your monthly, but then you're adding in, you know, here's the 10 best places to see the sunset in Arizona. Here's things to do this weekend, the best hiking in the valley, or the best staycations, right? It's not necessarily always real estate related. We want to make sure that they understand, right? They're still getting real estate information like a market update or something like that, but we're providing other value as well in that sense. And I totally understand the frustration with the, you know, what content do I pull together, things like that. And that's where, you know, I keep going back to this workshop, but I really think that if I pull, you know, the content together or different pieces, that when we're together, then you choose which one do we want to include into your newsletter that's going to go out, whether that's email or physical mailer, something like that, because we do both. And then we can piece it together for what you want the look and feel or the message to be. So that's one of the goals with Rock University, like our training and development piece of it, is if we can alleviate that pain point, but you're still doing the process with us, like you're still stepping through, right? Right, we're teaching you how to fish, but we're kind of guaranteeing you fish in the sense that you're leaving with it done, instead of just watching a training and then getting off the training and you're overwhelmed, you don't know where to start, nothing gets done. So I think, Deborah, are you in Arizona or Nevada?
Arizona.
Nice, cool. So yeah, I think that's something that I want to, and I love the feedback that, you know, the open discussion that we're having, because I really do want to incorporate that in there, because I think content is one of the hardest pieces, in addition to now what's the technical, right?
Right.
How do I get it in there and sent out?
Yeah.
So I definitely want to do more of this and actually like action enabled, where you guys are actually doing it with me. We can do it together and then it gets done. I don't know if that really helps, but we are gonna create a solution to where you can do this on a monthly
Right.
basis, right? And it kind of takes that pain point off your plate.
Well, and for sure, and it's, as realtors, we get so much information and so much, we have 832 ideas of things that we can do or marketing or whatever, but then that becomes like difficult to like, okay, so, what do I want to do for what is, and that, is, falls on us, but maybe that could be part of it too, is like, just really kind of understanding what are actually good marketing strategies, what technique, what are actually effective marketing strategies, whether it's print or digital or, and I guess it can depend on the from case by case too.
Yeah, for sure. And that's something like a discovery session that we can have in the very beginning or something like that, to where maybe there's people that just, because I've worked with agents and they don't want to include anything like any motivational things or anything like that. That's just not them. They're cut dry business, we're not friendly, but they're successful. They still do it because they have that consistency. But we can really kind of have a discovery phase of what you want that message and brand to be, and what's going to be the best marketing method for you based on the technical part of it, based on the financial part of it, right? Not everyone can send out all these postcards to their past clients or mailers on a monthly basis. So then what does that look like on a yearly basis? Is it a quarter, right? Am I dropping them off? So it's really coming together and kind of finding that strategy of what's going to work for you and your business. Because there's, like you said, there's thousands of ideas, but we have to kind of narrow that down and just choose a path we're going to go down, but be consistent with it for sure. It's great, guys. Way more than I thought this was going to be. Anything else? Any other feedback, discussion points? I'm excited to do in-person workshops. I think it's something that's highly needed, something that's not really happening out there right now, where agents can come together as a group, and right, we all have this common pain point, and kind of work together to get it solved. Anything else? Who's excited for 4th of July weekend, especially after this? Who's going this weekend and working on their CRM and database? Awesome. Very good. Just remember, rockuniversity.com. You can come here. You have all of these resources here as a starting point. This was just the beginning to give you guys a newsletter. Melissa had pointed out on here, I did go in and put those X's in. There is a small market update that you guys can, I just put X's in there, but you go and put your numbers. You pull your data and put it in there. I did have a question though on the Altos market report, so let me go do that for a demo if you guys want to stick around for a second. I'm just going to show how you can pull the data in other areas of the country. So I'm going to start with, so you would get an email weekly. Through that email, there's going to be a link. So maybe it's Maricopa County or Las Vegas. You would click that button and it's going to open up something that looks like this. Okay. Once you get to this part, you can then type in city or zip code. So let's say we have somebody in Seattle, a feeder market or someone that we're working with there. You're going to click search. Seattle, Washington. City is always first, and then it breaks down by zip code. So I'm going to click view report. And now we have all the information we need for Seattle, Washington. This info, everything updates, right? Market index is 88. Same thing. I mean, we can go to Miami. Let's go to Miami. Not Arizona. We need a little bit of beach in our life. Okay, Miami, Florida. Does that make sense? Does that answer questions? So when you get that weekly email, click on the whichever button it is, and then you should be able to search any city or zip code from there nationwide.
But what we were talking about yesterday, Justin, is there a way for us without the full subscription to get Maricopa County data, the countywide data, which is what you have in your report?
Yeah, so Maricopa County is an option. So that's the one I originally chose.
Right, but we can't get that screen unless we have a full Altos account.
So you should be able to, if we include it in, whose Altos are you in? Lynn or Bree?
Bree, I don't know, Bree, are you there? Am I in your, you're the one sending me the emails.
I am.
No, Bree is.
Bree is. So we are able to set you guys up to see this as one of those things. So on the back end, if I go here and I'm looking under, like, let's say this person, I can then type in Maricopa County, Arizona, and
Yes.
add that to your subscription.
Okay,
So Bree, we'll get with Bree and make sure that that happens for you.
that would be great. Because what we were trying to do on that email, the newsletter,
Yeah,
you had the data there for Maricopa County, but it wasn't updated, right?
Yeah.
There was no way for us to pull that on Altos because we couldn't get to the county data.
yep. So that's the county we have to, that we will set that up on the back end.
Okay, thank
And
you.
you'll get that with your other reports. Is Bree still on the call? I just want to make sure. Do I need to make a note or we're good? Is she on there? Maybe not.
She must have jumped. She must have jumped off.
Yeah, no worries. I'll connect with her and make sure that happens.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
Justin, this is Natalie.
Hi.
Hey, if Lynn is my, the person that I've been communicating with, would she be the one to get me access to this and, that Rock University? I don't know if I have access to that either, or the newsletter emails.
Yes, so Altos, absolutely. Reach out to Lynn. She'll just let her know county zip code. That goes for anybody on the call. If you're not on Altos market reports yet, reach out to your sales executive, Rock Title sales executive, and we'll get you on there. If you don't know who that is, reach out to me, justin@rocktitle.com, and I'll make sure that you get connected with them. But Natalie, yeah, Lynn will be able to get you set up on that. And then for Rock University, you will just go to the website, click VIP All Access, and sign up there. Several people on the call when I first started, there's just I just have to verify, right? In the very beginning, everybody could just go in and sign up and do it. I just have to click accept. So I will make sure if you've already signed up today on the call, I'll make sure that gets done after the call. But you just come here and click sign up, and then you'll have access to everything that we saw on the back end there for the templates and everything like that. I think I
Gotcha.
just got another one. Yep.
If
So-
I had an account for Rock, not the university, but like to get a net sheet, is that the same account?
Different.
Okay, so then I gotta pick a new account.
Yep. Yeah. Good questions. Awesome, Cami. I'm glad you got a lot of information today. Hopefully you guys got one gold nugget of information that you can then take into your business. I really do encourage you to at least just start making a list if you don't already, or organizing your contacts, your past clients, so important, especially in this changing market, to be able to leverage that. So there's not any other questions. I hope you guys have an amazing 4th of July weekend. Rock Title we are closed Monday in observance, so kind of a longer weekend. Hopefully you guys get some time away and to relax. And we will see you next week at the next training. I really appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Justin. This was great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amy. Take care.